Hey guys, welcome back to our Grace Love Space where we give you nothing but amazing and inspirational videos. Karibuni sana guys. Today you're going to I am going to give you a story time. And this story time, guys, don't judge me. Don't judge me, okay? Yeah. So, it's rather a very sad video by the way, but I don't know why I'm smiling. But it was kitambo, let me say. I was not okay, guys. I was when I was a child, like childhood. I think I had childhood trauma, like the way people sometimes you're faced with a situation and you're feeling like you are overwhelmed mentally or something like that. So I think that is how I was when I was a child. So I was in. Let me give you a story. I was in primary school in our lower primary. I think I was in class 2, and my sister was in class, I think 1. So guys, can you imagine when you are given? Now I want to show you how these childhood traumas they used to affect me, like how I used to be a bad person. I was a bad person. I was not a good sister when we were young. I was not a good sister at all. So I made my sister so hurt. I actually hurt her so much when we were young. So we when we were in class, I was in class 2. My sister was in class, I think, nursery, going now to class 1, transitioning from nursery to class 1. So guys, can you imagine? We were being given, my mom used to, by then we were actually living with my mom. So my mom used to pack for us tea. I feel so ashamed as we used to be given tea and some bread. And now because me I was the big one, I used to carry it. Now chai ni watu wawili and bread is for 2 people. Now who is me? I used to eat all of it. Now in primary school, when you're in government, I don't know whether in private school it happens, but in government schools we used to have a short break. We used to enter school around 7ish. Now we used to wait for 1 hour. We go for short break, then another 1 hour short break inakaa 30 minutes, then after 30 minutes we go another 1 hour, then we go for tea break at around 10:30 ndio tea break. Hey, mimi ni nani? Nishaanza kumwambia hapana, mimi nataka sasa. Naenda kwake namwambia alipee chai alipee chai yake, because now me I could not wait to imagine. I don't know, I think I didn't have even discipline, guys. I used to even not to wait for tea break. I don't know what used to happen to me. So I used to be I think I used to be a bully or something. I used to be a bully to my sister. So yani ikafika point now she was not even believing me, because hata tukipewa transport we used to be given 5 bob transport, 5 bob, so 10 bob for the both of us. Can you imagine, guys? Ikifika time ya kwenda home, naambia sister yangu akifia iliibiwa. Sasa hizo nilienda nikakula ice cream. Oh my god. I think just being a young kid, and then I don't know what used to happen to that, but ilifika 2 point nikaambia tu Mungu, me I don't want to be this anymore. And then I thank God because of I was a sponsored child of another project called Compassion International. Compassion International actually came in handy for me to change me. Like, it's changed me, who I was, because I struggled a lot with anger. I used to be a angry child. I don't understand why. I used to shout at my sisters, and they were very pretty young. They were very, very young. So I used to be harsh on them. I don't know why. I didn't want to be. I used to tell them not to follow me. And then, when you were young, you just want to play with your siblings. So my sisters, because they used to follow me a lot, and me, I want to go and play with other girls, I tell, no, don't follow me. So we have a small child, my smallest sister. She was very young. So I used to wonder, I used to feel very bad. So I want to be like other children. Kwa nini kila saa all my sisters want to follow me? No, I used to tell them, don't follow me. I used to be very harsh on them until I remember one day I was shouting at them, like I was shouting. I don't know what had happened. I think they had made a mistake. And you know, when you're a first child, like you're the firstborn, because we are three, and now me and now I'm the first girl. So I used to be like, kwa nini umefanya hivyo? Kwa nini? Yani, I used to be harsh. Hey, one day my uncle asked me a very serious question. He asked me, ama nimetupa the keys upstairs. You know, when you ask that in Kikuyu, you feel like that. I don't know whether he remembers that, but when he asked me, I was pretty young. I was very, very young, but I remember that time alikuwa kwa shamba. He used to lima, and then he asked me. So actually, guys, let me say the exact words that my uncle told me. Aliniuliza, Dana, kotete masafi. Aliniuliza, Dana, kotete masafi. That means in Kikuyu, anasema, are you okay upstairs? Nini inakuhapenia? So guys, I think what led me to being that type of a person, I had some kind of pressures. Like, after some time now, we were living with my mom. We had now to go and live with my grandparents. We stopped living with my mom, but my mom was not present. We didn't live with my mom for a long time. So most of the time we were living with other relatives and my grandparents. So guys, it was not an easy thing at all, because you used to find that kuna tu vitu tuna happen twenye una feel like you have to be there for your sisters, you have to do something, you have to, unakuta tu yani kuna vitu you as girls you need, so ni munafikiria ahead to get them, or inafika point you have to do some chores which were not easy. For example, kuna siku tulikuwa tunaenda kuchuna kuni. We used to go to Ngong Forest. So me and my Susho, we used to go to Ngong Forest. We used to get those firewood. Or unakuta sometimes mnaenda kuchuna napier grass. Guys, let me tell you, those kind of chores are not easy on any child. So unakuta mkiwa shule mnakuta nyinyi peke yenu ndio mnafanya hizo that kind of a house chore, which is not bad at all. It is very good because you know you're living with your grandparents. So I think that pressure of feeling like, why kwa nini sasa sisi tuko hivi, like why can't we live with our parents, or why can't we live with our mom? It was not an easy thing to think. I think those things used to depress me when I was a child, na sikuwa najua what is depression. So kitu ikinikasirisha, hey, oh, let me tell you, I used to shout, I used to tusiana, I used to get over my, like I used to, you know, like the way someone can get, unaona huyu mtu ako irritated, akikasirika tu anaenda akiendanga, like hata unakuta sometimes used to be even so rude. It was so sad. It was a very sad situation, because ulikuwa unakuta hadi sometimes you used to feel like, my grandparents used to feel like maybe I am a disrespectful child. Unakuta maybe I'm being disrespectful because I am talking loudly to anybody, sijui what, and then sometimes I used to feel like people are not treating my sisters well. I'm trying to fight for them. The same person who was very harsh on them, bado nilikuwa na watete. Guy. So I think that is where the traumas came from. So imekuwa, yani it was going on until some time, when now guys, I mentioned that I was a compassion child. A Compassion International is a project that sponsors kids. So I was lucky to be a part of that, and I think that was God's way of saving me, because guys, I'm telling you, that time is when now I think I learned God. Nikajua Mungu, nikajua God vizuri, tukaanza kuomba, tukaanza kufunzwa, tukaanza kwenda hadi Bible missions. Now you used to be taught about God, and also about those angers, those things. I think those things are very spiritual, by the way. They are very, very spiritual, and that was not a good spirit at all. So nikajua that mimi nilikuwa na shida. So I was taken through that. As I progressed in the Compassion International project, I realized that by the way, I was getting better. I started learning things. I started knowing about God. I started knowing about the Word of God. I started knowing what God wants me to be, what He says about my life. And from that point on, nikakuwa confident again. I became so confident in the working of God in me, what He has called me to do. So I started gradually healing. Nikaacha hasira, nikaacha kuongea vibaya, nikaacha kuwa rude to people or to my grandparents and to my sisters or to anybody. And even them, they noted a change. So ikafika point, I became a different child altogether. So, but as I grew up, I continued to identify that, wow, kumbe hizi vitu they happen. Childhood traumas are very rare, and they affect us even in our marriages. They affect us even in our adulthoods. Like for me, for example, nilikuwa nafika point anga bado haijaisha kabisa, because kuna siku naweza kasirika, una feel like your head is blowing up. And but with time I've come to to get out of that space, that unakuta most of the time ndio niko happy, most of the time I am trying my best to come out of those kind of negativity. I have chosen joy over everything. My relationships are better now with my sisters, with my grandparents, with my mom. Things are better. Even my relationships with my family, where I am married, the relationships are much, much better. With my husband, relationships are much, much better. But let me tell you guys, this thing is very rare. It can affect marriages, it can affect adulthood. Because unakuta sometimes you're not even confident. Confidence yako inaafektia ukiwa mtoto. So when you're not able to handle it, you will never be a confident person. You'll never even know what God has called you to do. You'll never even know what is your purpose on this earth. So I want to encourage all of us to identify those small things. And even if it is to talk to someone, even if it is to go for counseling, even if it is talking with a friend that you trust, or your mom or your father, or maybe having a family talk, that you can be able to identify these things that are affecting your family, that are affecting you as a person. It is very important to heal and to come out of them. Because now mimi, after learn gradually, I started now becoming, even I apologize maze, I apologize to my sister, especially because she suffered the most. But I started now becoming remorseful, even as a child and as a human being, to my other people surrounding me. And now I can say that I'm not there 100%, but I have tried a lot to come out of it. So for me, it's to advocate for every person to go, to heal, to seek healing, to seek guidance, and most of all, to pray and ask God for healing. So guys, I hope you've learned something out of it, because childhood traumas are real. Maze, they are real, and let us come out of them. Let us heal, and so that you can be able to do what God has called us to do, because that is the most important thing in our lives. So guys, thank you so much for watching up to this point. We are thanking you for subscribing, and if you haven't subscribe and take us to the 2000 mark. We are on the road to 2000 subscribers. Yes guys, so see you on the next video. Baraka.